Look at these cheeks. Look at these cheeks. This milk monster. Stay tuned, and we have some tips on how you can increase your milk supply. Make sure your baby's got chubby cheeks and keys, huh? Coming right up. Stay tuned. Hey, my name is Brianna. This is Landon. Can you say hi? Say hi, YouTube. Hi, YouTube. We are here to do a video for you today that I've been talking with some coworkers. One recently came back from paternity leave, and his wife is also breastfeeding. Sorry, it was just hitting the computer and making it move. But we wanted to do a video about how you can either increase your milk supply or keep up your milk supply if you're either going to be away from baby for a while or are going back to work and can't be nursing forever feeding. And just some of the things that I know I really encountered when I went back to work. Saw a huge drop in my supply. I think a little bit because of the stress of leaving Landon and stress of work, and my husband had just injured himself. So I've gone from pumping anywhere between 5 to 10 ounces every time I pumped to down to about 2 ounces every time I pumped. So I was definitely freaking out and stressing myself even more that Landon wasn't going to be having enough to eat when I was at work. So I'm not going to lie about it. We did buy Similac for supplementing. Similac. Let's try this for a third time. Similac for supplementing. So it is for babies who, more than 90% are being breastfed, but it's formula that does supplement if you need to while you're breastfeeding. And we found it agrees most with his tummy, and I honestly think it even looks almost identical to breast milk. And so my guess is that consistency-wise, it's got to be somewhat similar to what he's actually getting from me or when I pump. But some of the things you can do to increase your milk supply. First of all, drink. And I don't mean alcohol. I mean water or other liquid beverages. I also would highly encourage getting some lactation tea. I found some really great mother's milk organic tea at Target, and I absolutely love it. And when I was working, I would drink it right before I was going to pump because I actually think having hot liquids helps get, and this is, again, I'm not an expert, I'm not a nurse, I'm not a doctor, but I feel like having warm liquids helps get your blood pumping and therefore makes expressing your milk much simpler. Another thing that I did purchase was fenugreek pills. So it's an old, medicinal remedy, but I started taking those and I saw an increase in my supply. Also, it's super important to still be taking your prenatal vitamins. So I not only take a prenatal, but I also take a calcium and fiber prenatal vitamin, just so that my breast milk has plenty of the calcium and nutrients that Mr. Landon needs. I also think drinking actual milk, I've seen an increase in my milk supply. So every night before I go to bed, I either have a glass of chocolate milk or regular milk. And for whatever reason, I swear that first time when I pump in the morning, I'm pumping almost 10 ounces every single time. So for whatever reason, I just feel like milk makes me actually produce even more of my own milk. Another thing, and this has to do with the heat, whether it would be like a heating pad, or sometimes I know they have those scarves or bean sacks you can put in the microwave, or a hot shower. I found that if it's right after I've taken a hot shower, and this is more when I'm traveling and I'm away from baby, in a hotel room, I pump a much higher amount of milk if I pump right after I get out of the shower. And sometimes that might seem counterintuitive, you might actually want to pump first and then go rinse off. What my doctor has said to me though is anytime you pump or anytime you feed baby, you should just take a wet washcloth and wipe down your breasts to make sure that they're clean. No soap is even necessary, but just some water on a washcloth, wipe them down. But I think the heat of the shower does make your milk easier to be expressed when you have your pump on. Because nature does it best. Baby knows how to get the maximum amount of milk out of your breast. So if you are exclusively pumping, or if there's a week where you're traveling or on business or away from your baby, you'll actually never be able to pump as much milk out of your breast as baby would be able to get out of on his own or on her own. Yeah, and it's almost time for you to eat, huh? That's why you're turning. You're getting smart. Just a couple other ways that then I think I've also been able to increase my milk supply while pumping at work. Use gravity. So when you have your pump on, stand up and actually tilt your body forward so that you are sort of hanging. And then I think the suction of the actual pumping machine helps extract as much milk as possible out of your breast. Sorry, part of me wants to be like liberal mama and just start feeding him on camera, but I don't know about that. We'll just see if I can keep him calm because I only have a few more things I want to talk about. Also in regards to at work, when I am pumping, I think just massaging your breast while the pump is actually on and almost going along with the same motion as what the pump machine is doing, that has really helped to get even a couple extra ounces or two, especially if I'm busy. Like there are days where I can't pump for the full 20 to 30 minutes if I can only do 10 or 15. I found that massaging while pumping helps express milk even better. And then finally, and this is something that I think is one of those things as a first-time mama I was not expecting, but clogged ducts can really decrease your milk supply. And there's usually two ways you get them. It's either that you have a great sleeping baby, so you're not able to feed them as frequently, so you get a clogged duct, or, and this is why I normally got them, I was wearing too tight both maternity bras and tops. And I think transitioning back to work, oftentimes, especially if you want to wear your clothes that are non-maternity clothes, or I'm thinking even if you're away from your baby and on vacation, or even like I was a bridesmaid in a wedding, so I had to wear a maternity or a non-maternity strapless bra with my dress. It is really important to be cognizant of how tight your clothing is, because if it is too tight, and after you have a baby, generally your breasts are much larger than they were pre-baby. So making sure you have loose tops, very loose bras. At work, what you're wearing isn't tight, because the worst place ever to get a clogged duct is the beginning of the day at work when you're stuck there the rest of the day and will be in pain and don't have baby, because they often work a lot better by putting them on your breast than the pumps to get rid of those clogged ducts. So yes, I know all of this talk of breastfeeding is making someone hungry. So I'm going to go feed Landon. I hope these tips were helpful. Sorry if it was a bit all over the place, because when I do have him in my videos, I can tend to get a little distracted. But I hope this helps you for nursing if you will either be leaving your baby for a vacation or going back to work, or just not able to nurse them as often as you would like. I know there's also some ladies who choose to exclusively pump. Oh, I'm sorry. What would you like to add? Oh, he said if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And then one other thing that this was interesting, I didn't realize it was true until I actually was pumping at work. But if you have videos or pictures of your baby, and this is sad, but actually if you have videos of them crying, hearing their cries and just seeing your baby looking at pictures increases your milk supply. It's sad to have to look at pictures of you because I miss you, but it does help increase your milk supply. And then one other thing that just always helps is the more relaxed you are, again, stress totally affects your milk supply, but the more relaxed you can be, the more increased your milk supply can be. So one of the biggest things to do before you're pumping and as you're pumping, take really, really big, deep breaths. And I've actually done this while using the tilt over method, breathing, looking at pictures of him, and the massaging, and instantly I will sometimes have 3 to 4 ounces, bam, in a few minutes just using those methods. So if it is a time at work where I have to do a really speedy pump, those methods definitely help. That's all I can think of. If I'm missing anything, I'll add it to the comments box below. But thank you so much for watching our video. So sorry I was starting to get fussy and we had to take a little break. Yeah. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. please subscribe. And feel free to leave any tips you have for increasing your milk supply. I would love to hear them in the comments below. Say thank you for watching. Say thank you for watching. Yes, thank you.
Let me go. I don't wanna be your hero. I don't wanna be a big man. I just wanna fight with everyone else. Your masquerade.
Subscribe to our channel, or I will cry. Subscribe or I will cry. Hope you subscribe.